I'll go ahead and get started. Excited about the win, and that was the challenge all week. We talked to our kids that this was the only game that we had on the schedule this week, and so it was the most important one of the week. And I'm pleased. Things that just jump out at me statistically: time of possession, challenged the offensive line all week long. The crew chiefs, the backs, ball security, being able to stay ahead of the chains was going to be critical all game. We didn't know from a defensive standpoint what they were going to do offensively, so I figured the best way to attack it was to keep our defense off the field and make sure our offense continued to move the chains, and they did a great job. The other thing that I think jumps out, and I don't know, I'd have to ask Ryan Peralt when the last time it happened, but 9 different receivers caught the football today. That's probably, some people would say, atypical for North Dakota State football, but I think it tells you the growth and the maturity of our quarterback. Trey had another excellent game, made some good decisions. The 2 decisions I was probably most pleased with are the 2 times a couple times he pulled the ball down and just took off when it wasn't available. I think that shows that his willingness to know that I could keep the chains moving. I don't need to force anything in there, and let's line up and play another snap. And really pleased. We had the one hiccup in the first half defensively. Kind of got out of position a little bit, missed some checks. It was good that we could come in the halftime and make some quick adjustments. We got some pressure on the quarterback early in the second half, which created some turnovers. And I thought that was good. Michael Tutsie had an outstanding game, a young man from Indianapolis who's really become part of Code Green and done a nice job. When teams can't run the football, they struggle to win, and it was good. Need to still continue to do a little bit better on third down would be my thought. I'll open it up for questions at this time.
Have you seen from Trey?
He's pretty stoic in how he goes about his business. He's a man that's his faith is unbelievably important, so I think it takes a lot for him to get off base or, to have effect on him. But he did a great job this week of avoiding the noise. That was something I talked to him on Monday. We got to worry about the next game. You got to block out some of the other things that could try to distract you during the course of your development. I haven't had a chance to talk to Bobby yet, so I don't know yet, Ross. Hopefully, as the evening progresses and tomorrow, I'll have a better grasp on that.
Did you think you could dominate the time of possession like you did?
Well, as we challenged them all week, we thought we could. Now, they do a lot defensively. They're going to pack 8-9 guys between the tackles, and they did early. But the thought process was those gains of 2 and 3 yards early in the contest were going to turn into 7, 8, 9 yards later in the game, and they did. Our guys continually just kept leaning on them. Super proud of Coach Blazik and the development of that group at the offensive line.
Matt, can you describe your offensive line play through 2 games so far?
Really happy with it, but you're never as good as you think, and the film's never as bad either. So I'm sure there's plenty of things as we watch film and evaluate the game we wish we would have done a little bit differently. So I like where they're at. I like the leadership you get out of guys, Carson and Dillon, and of course Zach Johnson's been unbelievable. For a senior to move positions and to grasp it and to dominate like he is, it's pretty impressive.
Are you okay with Trey running it as much as he did today after what you talked about last week about him not trying to lower his head?
Right. Well, some of it was a couple times he scrambled was a little unintentional, but I was pleased rather that than him trying to force it into something. I think as the season progresses, we'll have to continue to monitor, just like a pitcher. What's his pitch count going to be? How many times can we actually, have quarterback run game that's for him?
How much of that was because UND did a pretty good job of taking away the middle, obviously early in the game? Is Trey going to have to get outside and do some things?
Well, I think just as an offense, we need to get out, CD gap and try to, we tried to hit slant on them, and they were chasing those backside defensive players. You saw us run counter sweep where we just avoided that player and got the ball back on the perimeter. But I thought just us being consistent and being patient. And that was the thing I talked to Tyler about is don't get away from the game plan because you feel like you're only gaining 3 yards on plays. It catches up. It's all cumulative at the end.
Assessment of your D after 2 games?
We have plenty of room to continue to improve. I think they have improved from week 1 to week 2. I told you guys a week ago, I don't believe in the most improvement happens between week 1 and week 2. I think it has to be over the entire season. It was good to see some young guys step in there, though. Dawson Weber played a whole bunch of plays. Michael Tutsie making plays. Wagey being back in there just on third down was a bonus to us. We got to continue to get healthy, and I'm going to lean on Bobby for that.
How big a deal, Hendricks looked like he was out early and having, like you said, Weber step in and losing kind of a quarterback?
Well, it's always a big deal to lose a captain. So, but where I'm excited about is we had to make adversity and we handled it. And I don't think you saw any lack of play or busted assignments out there. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope we're going to be okay injury-wise, but I'm excited that we're able to play more and more kids.
Is Hendricks, you hinted at it, concussion symptoms?
I don't know. Yep.
End of the first half, minute and a half left, 3 timeouts. The crowd is, let's say, encouraging you to go down the field. Who's in on that conversation? How does that progress to just run the ball and kind of take it to the half?
That was my conversation. Yep. At that time, I thought, we were up. We had just been on the field about 2 minutes before, had a punt right away. Let's just regroup and get back in the, one, defensively, let's regroup. We had a series that I didn't like. And two, let's regroup and get out and know that the first series of the second half was going to be critical for our performance throughout the remainder of the game.
It wasn't that Michael Tutsie had the parents he had.
Well, anytime a guy has 2 picks, that's a pretty big deal for you. And again, I get frustrated at the penalties afterwards, the 15-yard, and that's a new rule. The blindside block has been outlawed. And so we just got to continue to educate our kids. But that was a huge 15-yard loss. I think we had the ball to 40 to 45 going in, and all of a sudden now you're backed up. So we just got to continue to make good decisions.
Trey was in the game late with a big lead. Is that a plan to keep him in, or is that a head coaching thing that you need to work through? What's the plan with him late in the game with a big lead?
Well, we're going to continue to just make sure we win games. I mean, right? Otherwise, we lose games. It's bigger news for you, right?
What are your impressions of Dawson and the way that he played filling in for James?
Dawson Weber?
Yes.
I thought he did an excellent job. Yeah, I can't say a whole bunch right now. It's probably part of my learning curve right now is I don't see every snap probably as well as I would like to, or all 11, maybe as I did as a defensive coordinator. But I know from practice, I have a lot of trust in Dawson. He's an unbelievably athletic kid, has great ball skills, has done a superb job on special teams. He's going to continue to grow and develop. And for him to jump in what was the biggest game of the week was big for us.
The Dome as head coach coming out of the tunnel, out of the helmet, did it feel any different for you, or is there any different emotion there for you?
The beginning's pretty dang cool. And I had talked to my predecessor, and he said, it'll never get old running out of the tunnel. And after today, I can believe him. It might have been the fastest I've been in 25 years.
The red shirt officially off Kobe Johnson.
4-game rule still in effect, but he's a special young player. We were fortunate enough to find him down in Georgia, and he's done some pretty dang good things for us so far. Our kids really rally around him when he's in the game, and that's exciting for a freshman.
What do you think of the pass rush today coming off the game against Butler, where he didn't seem to have it as much?
I got to look at film. Of course, we're always going to wish and hope we had better pass rush, but at the end of the day, the score, we won. So we'll find things that we weren't as good as we'd like to, but right now I'm excited for our kids that we're 2-0.
Was it more difficult to prep for this time around than the last time you played him?
Well, I think the thing that I'd mentioned all week, you really didn't have a great population of plays. They won 40-7 last week. They had a quarterback injury situation. There was a lot of what ifs, and so we had a lot of defense that was on the side for the what ifs. What if they showed up in this or this? We need to have a plan, even though let's not muddle our kids' minds with it during the course of the week. So it was gonna be on the staff and myself to try to help make some adjustments.
Matt, you glad that this game is over with, the talk around it, that now this is in the rearview mirror to move on to the next week?
I'm excited for the win, and of course I told the guys, next week being our first true road game, I think there's nothing better for a team than to go on the road and the camaraderie that it develops. So excited for the win.
What can you say about Griffin Cross's play out there? First time out in the Dome, he's perfect.
That's the expectation. We call that group money. There's a reason.
Excited on Reinholtz is close to this is job for a while here.
For the time being right now, Reinie's getting better every day, so slowly but surely, but we got to make sure we're smart about it. Last thing you want to do is bring him back too quick, and then all of a sudden, that prolongs the injury.
Wagey was good enough for you to give him the green light to play today?
He was. He had a follow-up X-ray on Monday, and he was at practice Monday night. It's impossible to hold our kids out of practice. They understand that's where you win games.
Competition with the wide receivers with the number of snaps that a ton of guys are playing, a ton of guys are catching balls. Do you view them as competing to try and get a more prominent role, or do you plan on just rolling these kids out play after play?
Well, at some point with travel and restrictions to the numbers, we're not going to have as many wide receivers available. Part of it was just home game. We drafted probably about 70, 75 kids, so we had the availability of more. But when you have a balanced attack and your quarterback has trust in all of them, again, you guys have heard me say it, we're going to make people defend every snap of the Bison. And that doesn't mean that you can only defend half the field. You can defend one guy. You need to defend all 53 and a third yards.
Trey, how much more confidence have you seen yourself have now that you have the start under your belt at home?
It was pretty fun. Just the experience, obviously playing in the Fargodome, it's a lot different than playing anywhere else. Even when, we have all our home fans at Target Field, but I think the guys up front, having our defense, I just have a lot of confidence in those guys, just trusting that they're going to make plays, and, they're always encouraging me, so that helps a lot too.
What was it about the ability to run the football today you felt comfortable doing? What was being shown defensively that you could be able to go and do that?
Yeah, they mixed up a lot of looks. They gave us a lot of stuff, maybe we didn't prepare for as well, just didn't expect to see that much, but I think they're a really good team. So, I think I did a decent job of making plays. Our guys did a great job of getting open downfield, and obviously up front, again, the offensive line dominated.
Trey, how great to spread it to so many different receivers today.
Yeah, I've been saying it all year. We're really talented. We're young guys that maybe haven't played a lot, but we have a lot of guys that are really talented, just haven't had the opportunity to see the field before this year.
Michael, James goes down. How much more goes on your plate?
I wouldn't even say too much because I trust the defense, the guys around me. Dawson Weber came in and stepped up big time, made some big time plays. So I wouldn't say not a whole lot of more pressures. We played really good as a unit.
Apparently they were tough to game plan for because you didn't know what was coming. What's it like now after you played them once? Is that true? I mean, they throw stuff at you?
Oh yeah, they gave us some different looks that we weren't, we hadn't seen on film. Obviously, because it's only one game to really prepare off of. But we were able to adapt, and we played great as a unit.
Trey, how big was it to get that the touchdown right after UND made it a 7-point game? What was sort of the message to you guys in the huddle there?
It was big. All week, we were planning on not taking the foot off the gas throughout the game. I think our offensive line did a great job. Like I said, just dominated up front, and they set the tone. Just from start to finish for every game, they set the tone. Even though running backs are making plays, receivers are making plays, they set the tone. So it starts and finishes with them. They did an absolutely amazing job today.
Ben, how important was it for you to make it back to this one? How much relief was there internally when you weren't getting to play?
It was a lot of relief, just being back, being able to go out there again was pretty special, especially when you can do it in front of our fans, and to be playing against, UND. It's pretty special, pretty exciting game. So.
How impressed are you with your two tight end teammates, Josh and Noah?
They push me every day in practice and in games and things like that, and so I'm excited for them, for their futures. They're going to be really good. They are good right now, but it's just fun to work with them and get after it with them.
And this game, even though you haven't played UND since 15, did it have a different feel just playing against an in-state school in your mind?
I didn't feel it. I don't think our team felt it the whole week at all. Really, it was another game to us. That's kind of the message that Coach Entz talked about going into the week. It's the next game because it's the only one this week, and so I don't think there was any extra hype that we felt or any extra pressure. It was a big game for the state of North Dakota, for Bison fans and for former players, but I don't think there was any added pressure to us.
Trey, Coach Klein used to say that Easton was like another running back out there. Do you feel that same way for you? I think you led the team with 16 carries today, so is that kind of your role as well?
Whatever Coach Rowe calls is, the best play for that situation. I have, complete trust in him and Coach Hedberg up there in the box. And I think they did a great job of play calling today, giving us a lot of opportunities, and obviously offensive line, when I don't get hit, at the line of scrimmage ever, it's a credit to them.
You said last week against Butler you never got touched. Obviously you got a couple sacks in today, but do you feel well protected back there again today?
Yeah, absolutely. The sacks were on me, so it might look like to everyone else that it wasn't, but the just protection checks that I didn't get to that I should have. So the sacks were on me. It goes on them, but it's my fault. So.
The thing he was most proud of you today about was you pulled it down a couple of times instead of trying to force it. Does that you feel that growth coming in your game?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that our receivers did a great job of getting open, and when they gave us a look that maybe I wasn't as prepared as I should have been for it, I think I did a decent job of pulling it down like you said, and that was kind of the game plan this week, just make them defend the run and the pass.
Dillon, blocking for a guy like Trey, is it always you guys are always around your senses here, like describe that because the plays that are really over.
Yeah, obviously Trey's young. Easton was a veteran, so going from a veteran to a young guy is different. But Trey's come along at a rate that we never expected. Like, obviously, we expect some things here and there, but I mean, I was just telling Trey at the end of the game, I was like, we got more front looks and more stems and more games between Butler and UND than we have all last season. So for Trey to only, what was it, 2 sacks today or something like that, for Trey to only get 2 sacked twice today, it's amazing the way he comes around. And like you said, I mean, the dynamic he brings to running the ball, I mean, he runs like a deer out there. It's fun to watch him run. So.
See some of his runs because his feet are pretty good.
Yeah, I do. We'll run 50% of the time I give Coach crap about I'm just gap seal funneling on the backside because we're running a power to the right or something. So I'll turn around and I'll see Trey running up the sideline. I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy's crazy. But yeah.
Some of your core concepts didn't go for as many yards per carry as you guys were probably hoping early on in the game. What were they doing defensively that was kind of screwing with you guys?
Yeah, so like I said, we got a lot of stemming, a lot of different looks that we haven't seen even all last season, like I said. And so they're looping the 3 technique out, so power. They're basically crashing the edge on power and letting us get underneath. So we only have a kick out and a puller, so when they bring 3-4 guys off the edge like that and we only have 2 guys to block, it kind of makes it difficult to run that. But the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator, Tyler Roll, got us switched out into different plays, and we ended up getting a good look. So.
I call the defense after 2 games. Does it feel like last year? What do you think?
No, I think we have a new identity. We're this year's defense. So I mean, we have aspects from last year. We're always going to play fast. That's what Code Green's about. Play fast, physical, play together. And I think that's year in, year out for Code Green.
Michael, what made you so comfortable today?
Preparation. I'm ready. I'm prepared for this. Beginning of the game maybe a little jittery, but once I let it sink in, just go out and play football. That's what we do here. So it made it really easy.
Ben Noah came up made a big play today, and what did you see that really just develop as a pass catcher this year, week 1 and
Just kind of his preparation, his confidence throughout practice and in the summer. He's put a lot of work in with 7-on-7 with Trey and the other quarterbacks and things like that. And so just kind of seeing him develop, the big thing is probably confidence and just playing faster than he maybe did last year or the year before. But he's come a long way with that.
Benny, you was on your feet as well when Trey's out running, or he might be throwing. How are you trying to adjust and try to get open when he's scrambling out of the pocket?
Well, there was one today. I stopped my feet and he kind of ran me in the back. So not playing fast enough, so that one didn't feel great. But it's just you always got to keep going, play to the whistle. That's the biggest thing is finishing and things like that. It's kind of what we get coached on, and so just continuing to play to the whistle. You never know when it's gonna pop up again. So just got to stand your toes.